Donna says, in Buddhism, we call this the hungry ghost, that which is never satiated. The the theories around hungry ghost are brilliant. They're brilliant. This is why we meditate, to attend to the hungry ghost and notice what it is hungry for. We bring attention and gratitude. On that note, let's jump into another conversation. This week, I was scrolling through I was scrolling on X, or maybe it was Facebook, I can't remember which, and I stumbled across a video of a woman. Her name is Pearl Davis. Now, Pearl is an anti-feminist social media influencer. She has been called the female Andrew Tate. She got into, her views are quite controversial. She has quite a large following. She had quite a large following. Few months ago, she made a video where she said some really awful things, and a great deal of controversy surrounded her, to the point that I believe she was booted off some social media. But she spent her time in the quiet, and now she's making her way back again, I guess. Anyhow, there was a video of her speaking about that's Pearl there. There was a video of her speaking about Onlyfans, and she was talking with a number of women who have OnlyFans accounts, and her statistics are a little. I wouldn't listen. I guess I'm not going to repeat all the numbers she gave or this or that. But the bottom line, she talked about the women content creators on OnlyFans, and she talked about the number of men who have active memberships on OnlyFans or active subscriptions on OnlyFans. And she was talking in the millions, right? So there's 10 million content creators, female content creators, and there's 90 million men who are subscribing to those content creators. Really, you can imagine it boils down to they shouldn't be making that content, and they shouldn't be buying that content. They shouldn't be making that content, and they shouldn't be buying that content. And some of the things that she said yes, there are studies that talk about the emotional toll that this kind of work has on people, and the emotional toll that subscribing to this kind of content has on people. That's indisputable. It's there. The studies have been done. But the thing that I think I want to speak to you all about isn't necessarily that people are making this content or that people are buying this content. It's that there's a reason they're doing it. It's not as simple as they're just morally bankrupt. It's not as simple as they're just bad people, that they're just users. It's not that simple. It's not as simple as there's something wrong with them. It's not as simple as they are choosing to do something horrible. It's not as simple as they choose to sin. And if I could come back to what Donna says here about the Buddhist understanding of the hungry ghost. We do the things that we do because we believe doing those things will meet a need. We do the things that we do because we believe doing them will help us meet a need. We don't necessarily understand what that need is. We may not at all, in any way, shape, or form, truly understand what the need is when we do a thing. But we do it, and that thing that we do, well, it satisfies us. Sometimes it satisfies us for a long time. Sometimes it satisfies us for a little bitty time. And in fairness, when we think we have a need, humans will often turn and do the easy thing because it's easy. And we can satisfy our need right then and there, easily. Sometimes we will do the really fun thing, because why wouldn't we? If I can satisfy my need in a way that is fun, then yeah, I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, it's still all about meeting a need. And not for nothing, but it was a little aside. Sin, for the person who's committing it, for the person who is doing it, for the person who is engaged in a sinful act, it is always fun and it is always easy, or at least perceived to be the fun and easiest thing to do to meet that need. Sometimes it's really difficult work to feed ourselves. Sometimes it's incredibly difficult work to take care of our longings and to take care of our needs. Sometimes it's incredibly difficult work to feed our ghost, to feed our emotional needs, to feed our emotional longings. It's a great deal of work, and sometimes it's impossible. And so in those cases, we actually have to come to an understanding of what this ghost is all about so that we can put it away, so that we can help it rest. But, there are SWs out there, and there are people who hire them, who pay them. And there are content creators out there on Onlyfans and other sites who are doing things that, for many of us, we would say, oh, that's wrong. And there are many people out there who pay them to do this stuff. And we would look at them and say, oh my gosh, this is wrong. But it's never that simple. We do what we do for the reasons we do them. We do what we do to feed our needs. My hope is that all of us would be willing to apply that logic to folks who are doing things that we might see to be wrong. Folks who are doing things that we might believe to be erroneous, even harmful. Okay. They're doing these things to meet a need that they need satisfied. They're doing these things because there's something about them. There is something within them. There is something that is there is something that they are carrying, a baggage, a weight that they are carrying that they need help with. But they may not understand it. They may not even know it's there. They may believe that it's just part of my broken, twisted wiring. So let's approach people with a certain amount of empathy. Let's approach people with an assumption. And I know what an assumption does. It makes an ass of you and me. But let's approach people with an assumption that we don't know everything that's going on for them. Let's approach people with an assumption that they may not know everything that's going on for them, and that this thing that we find distasteful, this thing that we think may be wrong, may be bad, whether it is or not, is their way of taking care of their needs. And let's withhold our judgment, withhold our condemnation, withhold our sentencing, our labeling. If we can do that, not only can we share with the world how these people are wrong and these people are wrong and these people are right and these ones, not only can we make noise about content creators and those who pay them, we might actually be able to help. Because we can't help by pointing a finger at people. We can't help by judging others. We can't help by trying to inspire or force shame and guilt upon others. We can only help if we're willing to enter into their space, enter into who they are. The world needs more helpers. The world needs more healers. The world needs fewer people pointing their fingers. Amen.